All right. Happy Sunday to everyone. This is James Pelton, and I am here with Justin, aka Pocket Aces, as most of you know him. He's been super helpful for me. My community manager is kind of, I guess, we haven't really given you a title per se, but that's what I'd call you. And you're kind of the community manager for a lot of places, it seems like. So appreciate just your work and what you've done in the space. So what we want to do today is we want to get to know Justin. I want to point people to his YouTube channel, which again, here's the link to that. I want to hear a little bit about his journey to he's wanting to quit his 9-to-5 job. Hopefully his boss isn't watching. I don't know if that's going to cause problems or not.
Yeah.
But I want to talk just about your experience so far and your plans for that. Audience, if you have things you want to talk about, I already see alchemy trades. So there might be other things. Justin has his hands in a lot of different communities, so he has access to a lot of good info in a lot of places. So Austin Clark in the house. His Pocket Aces is a good dude. So you got Austin Clark's thumbs up. So that's good to see. So yeah, if anybody has questions they want to ask, feel free, and we will get those asked. And if we run into technical difficulties, it is the nature of lives, but we'll roll with the punches and make it happen. So Justin, welcome on.
Thank you.
Do you want to start out with a quick introduction and maybe give us a little bit of your background? And it doesn't have to be as quick. Usually when I do an AMA, it's like, quickly.
Yeah.
But this is about you. So go ahead and let us know where you came from and how you got to where you're at.
Yeah, thanks. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I'd like to be more general, but I will do a little bit on me. I came into crypto. I've worked for banks for years. I actually still am with one of the big 5 banks in Canada. So that's where I am right now. And so hopefully, who knows? We'll see if anybody knows me after this. So I got into crypto January, February last year, and just started feeling my way around it, trying to learn the investing side of it, because did investing obviously in my main job. And obviously, like everybody, came in at the heat of the bear and definitely lost some dollars, and now trying to recoup it. But luckily the opposite of the bull, the bear now, is a great place to start accumulating. So just taking a lot of what I'm learning and then using that in turn on my channel to try and hopefully help other people do better and hopefully not get rugged as much as we're all experiencing right now, which is amazing. And then from there, I've always, during that process, watched a lot of people on YouTube, obviously yourself. This might go in and out, I don't know why, but obviously yourself, and then and as Austin mentioned, I did start off with him and really appreciated his kind of integrity in the space. Yabonks, I mean, I can name drop a few. Murdoch is another one that I started with when I first got in, because he helped with some of the degen moves, as we all like sometimes. And then Jack Passive Income, Jack's Passive Income. I think you've known him as well. So another guy that I definitely watched a lot. Appreciated what I saw, really liked it. Thought I could bring some added integrity to the business. Didn't really think I'd go the YouTube route at all, but then with Kadena hashing, my first name drop for the day, there was a little bit of a need for some of the community to learn about the wallets, about the different things inside the Kadena hashing environment, because Kadena was so not everybody knew about it. So it allowed me an opportunity to create some videos for them, help their community out, which I really love doing. In turn, became a mod. And so that's kind of where my business, quote unquote, I guess, inside the DeFi space started. Your friend Andy, another one that I watched a lot, definitely talks about hitting the pavement and creating passive income, or creating real income in other ways other than your 9-to-5 job, in order to help you with your investments in the DeFi space. So that was a big learning opportunity for me, or something I saw and obviously took that as what this was able to do. From there, to grow my channel, I've kind of just sort of spread myself out everywhere in Discords and all that kind of stuff. And probably the next step was, I think it was Wealth Mountain. After that, I had an opportunity to mod for them, and still am. And as much as everybody's seen them drop, they are coming back. They've just started their new thing where they're sharing some opportunities for everybody to again get back into that space. And then Alchemy Trades was probably one of my biggest ones for growing the channel. And so I became kind of their YouTube video training content creator, which I've kind of slacked on the last little bit. I have something coming out soon for all the VPS guys to help them, and yeah, and then from there, just quickly to end this all off, I guess, just looking at my notes, alchemy trades, and then I went off to Frost Flakes actually was one where I took a liking to the dev, started talking to the dev, created his Discord around the same time when I created somebody else's, who I'm talking to right now, created his Discord, and now we're in talks of stuff and trying to grow his protocol. It's a really neat one, a little more degen, but still a lot of integrity in that one compared to others. So yeah, and hopefully my mic's not cutting out during this.
No, your mic
Okay,
is
perfect.
doing great. The camera is kind of coming in and out.
Yeah, it's just doing its own thing. I don't know what it's doing, but anyways, there's my light doing its own thing too. So
possessed, maybe.
Yeah. So that's kind of, I guess, most of it. And then obviously now my latest thing was obviously we did a Discord for yourself, and luckily you liked it and took me on. And now I'm really appreciating the support that you're giving me. It's really helping me grow as a person and understanding the business and sort of taking it hopefully the next level, I guess, from there. So, and whether it be YouTubing or modding, I just want to provide value and help people. As much as I'm sure I'll get the flack like you do, where people will think I'm not being helpful. My hope is to help people grow and earn inside this really neat space that is going to be the future.
Yes, no, that's awesome. Yeah, and I've been really appreciative of you. Yeah, Justin built all my Discord stuff, and then he's just been so patient with me. He asks me for something. To like, oh, can you do this in the Discord server? And then he has to wait several days before usually I get to the DM and actually do it. And then he's just been really patient for me. And
You're a busy guy. That's okay.
You know, it seems that way. It seems that way. So yeah, everyone who's watching, I want you to hit the like button for Justin. Also go over to his YouTube channel and hit subscribe. Okay. If you do nothing else, this is free. So go do that. I can always ask you to do free things for sure. So let's do that. So a couple things I want to talk about, and I want to leave it open if you have things you want to talk about too. But one of my goals for my audience is to help them if they don't like their 9-to-5 job, or even if they like it but are just wanting more freedom, helping people get out of their 9-to-5 job and replace it with passive income, specifically in crypto, but really all passive income. And that's your goal also. Is that kind of correct?
100%. I just want that freedom of time that we've talked about. I've managed people, I've worked for companies, I've done all that kind of stuff. And I'm kind of like, you know what? I want to go spend more family time, spend some more time doing the things that I love, traveling, that kind of stuff. And it's just become hard in our regular lives when you kind of get into that numb and drum kind of habits, I guess, if you will. And this space really, I've always been a jack of all trades, master of none. So this space does really lean on that a lot. There's lots of different things you can do in the space, whether it's modding, where you can earn an income from it. Not everybody, but in the bear, you can earn a pretty darn good income from it. And then, whether it be modding, whether it be YouTubing, whether it be just being a voice in the space, it's really lots of opportunity. If you are a programmer, if you can teach yourself programming, there's so much demand for that. So if you can find ways, as like I said, your friend Andy always says, is if you can find ways to hustle in this space or any space to bring income into it, you can really make a big difference. And once the bull market comes again, as you're aware, if you're holding L1s and holding all these different income plays, they can moonshot really nicely. No, not financial advice. Yeah, Yabonks' hand shows. I'm a hand talker, which has been also hard with the channel because I'm not on camera until now. So
yeah, that'll help for sure. So I'd like to kind of hear. So what's your journey been like so far on this passive income? I know we're in the bear market, so there's projects where you start making a passive income, then get rugged, and there's all sorts of craziness. What's been your experience like up to this point?
I've been fairly lucky lucky. I was not lucky when I first got in and we got into node season. I thought I was diversifying in different projects. Lo and behold, I didn't practice really what I preach and kind of ended up obviously rugging myself almost by getting into too many nodes. So it's great. I have 10 different nodes I got into with my income or with my money that I brought in, but it's really nothing. It's only one project really in that way. So a lot of it was learning how to kind of manage that, get my investment face on, and start really attacking things in a little more systematic way. And in DeFi, as you're aware, it's a lot of fun, it's exciting, it's whatever, but you can wreck yourself 10 times faster than you can in a regular market, because your 1% gain or loss on the regular markets is a 10% or more loss in DeFi. So a lot of it was just being more systematic, diversifying in different projects and different systems, I guess, if you will, and in turn have kind of made myself a little bit luckier. Like, I think Stable Fund was my only one that really kind of, not to get into crazy projects, and I've kept my money in there because it's not a lot that I have in there. I'll see what V2 offers. I hope for the best for everybody. But it's just, you can't get married to a project. I think that's probably one of the words we've heard from many people. You do, and you're just going to get yourself wrecked.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dan says it really well here. What I like about Pockets is he is in a similar position as me when it comes to weighing risk reward, just the right amount of risk without being reckless. And in some ways, like, I came as a YouTuber, but I came with a lot of funds already from selling my software company.
Yeah.
So sometimes my content doesn't connect with people because I'm coming from, hey, I'm putting 10K into 50 different projects. And so I think you have this journey that you're on is the same journey that I think a lot of my audience is on. And that's why I think there's huge potential for you to really resonate with people.
Yeah.
Could you talk about maybe what are your end goals for your passive income, or what are you aiming at? What kind of numbers are you looking at before you think, oh, I can shut down my regular job and to do this full time? Do you have like a timetable you're looking at, or you're just going to kind of wait and see how things go, or what's
I
your
have my
thoughts?
moonshot goals, I guess, if you will. So, I mean, I've got I'd love to do it in the new year, very soon, like early in the new year. But a lot of that depends on the income I can generate, right? And I've got to be very cautious, as I'm sure everybody's aware, is where my income is coming from. If I'm modding for project A that is got a lifespan of 2 weeks, it's going to be a little different than modding for someone, again, like yourself, for lack of a better comparison, really, and where I know they're going to be here for the long term. So it really does matter and change based on that. So there's obviously an income I want to generate that I can pull out of, because it's not just generating the income, it's where that income's placed and what I'm generating with it. And it's got to be at least 2, maybe even 3 or 4 times what I'm making, unfortunately. So it takes a lot more juice to kind of do. Again, depending on where it's coming from. And what I might do over time is create spreadsheets, create data where it's like, okay, this income I can bank on, pun intended. And this income, okay, I got to make it as part of my DGen income, so it's not getting included in my, can I get out of this job now, kind of thing. And it's not like I hate my job. It's just, again, like we all talk about, it's the freedom. And it's just, I mean, I can still keep doing it, and I'm increasing my income well within that environment. I don't call myself a salesperson. Even in this, I call myself an educator. I'm there to give advice, and then turn the sales come because of it. And it's really the same here. It is the same in modding. It's the same everywhere when you really think about it. And if you have that ability to do that, then you're going to get some wins out of it.
One thing that I find really impressive about you is you don't just rely on investments, but you've also been out hustling just anything to get passive income. It's like, hey, I'll help run your Discord server. Hey, I'll help mod here and things like that. Can I ask what the percentage, how much do you expect to replace via like work, like modding and things like that? And how much are you hoping to get with passive income? Do you have thoughts on that?
I don't know if I've really drilled down on that yet, only because I'm kind of still rebuilding myself from the bull that crashed down on us all. I'm doing really well. I'm feeling pretty confident that I'm making the right moves, and as long as I keep making those moves, it'll go well. But I haven't really broken it down as much. But I mean, obviously, there's the ability to still earn even when I'm not monetized in YouTube. There's ways to earn there. The modding, there's ways to earn there, but it still takes time because some of them I'm doing for free, which I'm happy to do because I love the communities, and I love the people that I'm meeting and all that kind of stuff. I love giving, and hopefully in return, all of that effort that I'm putting in is going to pay me back in the end. And it's already started, which, like, I mean, the last month or two has been a crazy whirlwind of amazing events that have kind of transpired because of the work I've been putting in. But it's like anything, even DeFi, everybody, you can't look at it as a lottery. And I think a lot of people do. They think, oh, hey, I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to be rich. It just doesn't happen. So.
Unfortunately, no, it's not that easy usually. Although during the bull market, it was that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing too, right? Like the groundwork that I'm setting, I've heard of mods in the bull market. They can do very well with questionable projects probably. But I mean, all that kind of stuff, and so do YouTubers, right? Like, you're getting projects left, right, and center. You can pick and choose what you want and what you want to do. But again, it depends on who you are and what integrity level you have, which ones you're okay taking and which ones you aren't. And that's important to me. And if I am taking the ones that are riskier, I'm going to be very honest about that and very transparent about it, because I'm not here to wreck anybody, and that's not my goal, nor is yours, even though people perceive those things, because people are people and they like to pass blame wherever they can.
Yes. Yep. No. And question 2, maybe you haven't thought about this yet, and maybe this is for future on your channel. But what do you think is going to be like the catalyst for you to say, okay, I'm going to go full time into this? Do you think it's going to just be a feeling like, oh, I feel pretty good, or is it a certain number, or what are you thinking?
There is numbers, and I want to get to the numbers. I just haven't analyzed them yet, only because I know I'm still not there yet. And I'm really more just focused on the hustle. That's really probably the best way to put it. And just getting myself out there, getting into communities. Like, even Alchemy Trades they had an AMA with somebody. I really liked what they were doing. I jumped in and said, hey guys, I want to buy a bot. I'm going to do some videos. And then in turn, they turned around and said, nope, we're going to give you a bot and you're going to make us videos. And so just putting myself in those situations and just being finding myself the opportunities, like, they're not going to fall on my lap. I get that. But at the same token, I can create them by doing these hustles and stuff. And so appreciative of how many amazing people are here and are still here. It's not just the crooks and the whatever, like a lot of people label it that way. Right. But so it's awesome. And it's a fun journey, and anybody can do it. It's like, this is not tough. It's just, you have to be disciplined. You have to have goals and ideas in your head.
Yeah, and one takeaway that I would give to the audience just from hearing about you and hearing about your story is, so capital, like money, is obviously an investment currency that you can use. So if you have a lot of money, you can invest and make passive income. But one thing Justin's doing is he's using hustle and he's using time, even though he's working 9 to 5, but then he spends a lot of extra time hustling and using his time as leverage in order to make money. So I hear a lot, hey, I don't have enough money to invest. There's no way I can make passive income. And so one thing I just really love about you is you've shown, hey, no, there's ways to make passive income that don't involve you needing a lot of capital. You can just go, say, I'm going to make a tutorial video for this project. And then they bring you on basically as part of the team. So just love your hustle in that. I think there's a lot that we all could learn from that.
Yep. And I should also thank, I have two kids and a wife, and luckily they're hugely supportive. That's been a big thing as well, because I'm not 20 and on my own and able to put that. So, I mean, you have to have that kind of support behind you to help you kind of make that effort. So for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great point. So if you're a younger guy, we'll say in your low mid 20s or something, before you get married, you can just put in 20 hours a day. Nobody cares. But once you get married,
I wish I was there in this time. Man, what I could have done, like
right? Unfortunately, most of us spend our time playing video games or whatever,
that.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see. So people are really wanting to know what projects you're excited about right now, because you get kind of under the covers. Well, that's not the right word. Yeah, maybe it is. Under the covers. We'll just use it.
We'll go with that.
Covers in a lot of projects. What are your favorite projects right now in the bear market?
Yeah, and there's quite a few, obviously. And I'm right now diversifying and trying to use the income that I'm earning to kind of get into a few different things to make sure that I'm ready. To go with one that's launching today at some point, I believe. I haven't been able to check my Discord to see if it's even launched yet, is Dauntless, which actually is a marriage of Alchemy Trades and Murdoch and Ludo, who are creating an NFT that you can then purchase, and that NFT will get you shares in, or sorry, that money gets pooled together and then becomes part of what they're going to be trading on the Alchemy Trades bot. And luckily, Alchemy, the creator of the bot, and Surge are going to be the ones running it. So you can't really ask for a better setup there when you have the owners and the creators of the project running your money. And luckily, they're yes, not fully doxed and everywhere. And then obviously, as Crypto Witch is very graciously, I'm missing most of the comments, so
no, that's fine.
Yeah,
I'll bring them up as they
exactly.
Don't worry.
But yeah, and Kadena hashing is something that they're a lot of integrity, a lot of honesty. I'm on there. I'm a mod for them, so obviously I'm a little bit biased, but biased in a way that again, my integrity is too important to me. I really do love the group. I've gotten to know them all very well, and they're just amazing. So that's always a great one. Wealth Mountain, I'm still excited for. As much as that's a little bit of a degen move, they're trying to create a product that really will last the test of time. The first one was a moonshot. It was, but it was there to build the income and build the base that they need. To be honest with you, stable funds almost kind of they went through all their different versions before they got to something. Bad example right now. Sorry for people that are hurting from it, but it's still got its potential. I guess income's coming out there. Trying to think what else. And then actually we heard about that project yesterday, and I saw some of them mentioned there, the Goofy Gophers. Again, it's a neat way to diversify your stuff, because I don't have the 10, 20, 30, 40 grand to buy all these different miners and things. So where I can do that is with my smaller chunks. I can get into all these different ones when I know the team and trust the team and feel the team's got some great opportunities. So stuff like that. I'm going to miss some, but Frost Flakes, it's a neat way to get some B&B and stuff. So I'm labeling the ones that honestly I'm kind of involved in, but there's definitely lots out there. There's so many things I'm looking into. I'll try and bring them. Hey, Jack. So yeah, so I'll try and bring them on. But that's kind of a quick rundown. Sorry, I babble sometimes.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, we got Jack's Passive Income. He's another YouTuber, so go look him up. Jack, good to see you. And then, yeah, we have Goofy Gophers Mining Club, which you were just talking about. And if you didn't watch the AMA already, I'm putting a link to that. But yeah, go check out Goofy Gophers. My first Cardano project that I've had on the channel. So, and
I have no exposure there either. So the same thing. It's like, okay, well, maybe this is a good way to do that and kind of learn about it. Ambro, I think it is there, the pipeline one. That's got really neat concepts to it. And oddly enough, I found out that the guy that's running it is right in my town. So hopefully we'll meet for a beer and I'll get some background info on that and see if we can get them on the channel and stuff to go into more detail. So.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Can I ask a little bit about your YouTube channel? What is kind of your goals there or plans there? Are you planning on doing AMAs, or are you going to document your journey, or what are you kind of planning on doing there?
Definitely my journey a bit, because people obviously like that, and it's something that does get the hits, and it's something that's real, right? Like I am like, I'm not a 150K a year kind of income earner. I haven't sold a company and been able to bring all this money in. So hopefully it does resonate, like you say, with everybody. So I definitely want to go through that, because if I can show it from the ground roots up, all in real time, that can add some value for people as they're trying to navigating the space and learning. But I do enjoy the idea of the AMAs. I think I can get to smaller projects being the size I am than maybe you normally get to, for example, because I like the idea of like you, I feel people, right? And that's how you had Kadena Hashing, I had founder from Kadena Hashing, and that's what started really my earning journey, I guess, if you will, is not that I'm earning with them, but it's just how it started with the YouTube. And I could hear in his voice, I could feel the passion. I have a gut feeling for those things. So it helps me vet people really well. And so far it hasn't failed me. So by doing that in the AMAs, I can get a better one-to-one kind of interaction with them, and hopefully find those kind of things and find those projects that will hopefully help people out and help them grow.
Okay, very good. Yeah, and I just said in the comments that if you guys have any topics you want to talk about, I can keep talking. I have infinite number of questions and talking topics. But if you guys want to direct things a different direction, let me know. And I do want to hear kind of too, Justin, if you have things you want to talk about. But I was wondering, do you have any thoughts on how you're going to? Did you have any hesitancies about going the YouTube direction? Just knowing that you do end up with a lot of, hate and conflict and things like that. Does that something that
I've worked in
worries
the
you or
customer
anything like
service
that?
industry for a long time, so hate doesn't really resonate poorly with me. It's more an opportunity. And that's I actually worked back in the day. You guys might know Best Buy. I worked for Future Shop when I was a kid. They had a really good culture for that sales and that attitude kind of thing. And really, I don't know why that keeps doing that, but anyways, every thing you're in, of course, it's going to keep doing that now. So everything you're in kind of thing, it gives you that every negativity to me is an opportunity. Either it's the opportunity to learn, an opportunity to shake it off and realize that, hey, you guys are obviously a little bit, I mean, even in some of the modding I'm doing, I've had one person, luckily I've avoided them mostly, but one person on tilt, and you kind of just go with the flow and figure it out kind of thing. And it gives you an opportunity to learn about different people. I'm babbling there and losing my train of thought because of the camera, I guess. So the be all and all is I hate's going to happen. It's everywhere. We deal with FUD all over the channels, and being a mod, I've learned that if you handle them kindly, because oftentimes there's a reason why they're doing that. It's either they lost money, they're hurt, something's happened. If you take them in and kind of say, hey, look, I'm not going to ban you like every other project does. Let's have a conversation, but you need to be willing to have the conversation. Some aren't, and they're gone. Bye-bye. But most really do want to have a conversation and really do have legitimate questions or concerns. But we're so quick in so many Discords just to throw them out the door because they don't think like they're doing what you want them to do, that you just create more of it. And we've seen projects that almost tank themselves just by breeding the FUD, by being either too up here on their project and their guys being too out here. And everybody just needs to realize right here's in the middle, this is where everything happens. This is where the magic happens. This is where you're going to get more people on board and where you're going to grow your project. So sorry, I babbled there again, but I think that kind of gets it all out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. And that's great advice. One thing that I need to work on is when I'm cranky or like in a bad mood, then when people start sending hate
Okay.
to me, I snap back at them. And this happens a lot. Like on Twitter last night, I was kind of cranky last night, and some people tweeted at me, and I started tweeting back, and it turns into this big thing where it would have been much better to just, hey, remember that they're people that have money in this and they're hurting, and things like that. So that's great advice.
Well, we know
And
money is the biggest stressor, right? And like I've even handled in life in general, like you'll have an argument with your wife. A lot of times you're not actually mad at each other. You're either mad at a situation or mad at something that's triggered that in you. And as soon as you find the source, and that's the same with modding and people, as soon as you find the source of the problem, you can heal and create learning opportunities and all this kind of stuff. So that's really, if I can bring that to the space and try and help people through that, that's nobody needs more hate in the world. We got enough of that.
yeah, absolutely. And then, I get cranky because of Twitter, and then I'm more cranky with my
It
kids when
rolls.
they're, yeah, it rolls down totally. Let's see, Goofy Gophers, what are your guys' current top projects with real revenue streams? So that's a good question. What are your favorite revenue streams right now? Maybe we'll put the question that way.
Uh, well, it depends on what varying moonshots you want to go on. PGM actually is doing well for me. I'm not going to complain. So it's creating a nice little passive income for myself. Obviously, there's ones that we all know about that were doing it, but that aren't now. And some of them right now are still building. Right, like we're in the bear. It's not even about creating the passive income to me right now. It's about creating the income for the future, because it's accumulation. So and things like the mining clubs that are there, as long as they're going to be there down the road, they're going to be, I think, really great opportunities. Another one that I haven't plugged yet actually is Cardinal House. Those guys are a great group of people. They're trying to create something really different. And right now they just, I think I probably by the end of this will be sold out of their DAG node little NFT project that they did their second launch of. And I'm in both of them because I mean, I know it's not going to make me money tomorrow, but it will. So you really have to kind of be methodical about it and not just go with the moonshots. OPT, I mean, everybody's love hate. obviously I don't have the same energy as Drew, but there's some value to that project, and there's some things they're trying to do that are different. So let's embrace that wisely. Get your initial out as soon as you can, and then see where it goes. But instead of running around complaining about it. So between OPT, between Dauntless again is going to be, I think, a good passive income generator for us. I really do like Alchemy Trades because you can put it in USDT and AVAX, and you'll get 0.5% a day on average. It's not hard. Not financial advice, not guaranteeing it. But there's definitely some opportunities still here. And it's just kind of navigating through them. And that's what my channel hopefully will do, is show people those options in a responsible way, and hopefully give people an opportunity to make some bank.
Awesome. Yep. Nope. I think we all have the same goal. It is crazy that we, hate each other so much, because we're all just on the same goal.
Yep.
Like, we're all just trying to get passive income and things like that. So
it really should be a space that's almost like the hippie generation, where they were going out, like, we could make it that space where it's that kind of revolution. But it's just, unfortunately, everybody just leans on the fake news. I mean, Twitter's right now with FTX and everything it's just crazy how much fake news and CNN type news is going through there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely bonkers right now. So there's a lot of things people want us to discuss.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I keep going, but
yeah, I'll bring up a couple things, and we'll just see if you have thoughts on them. Do you have thoughts on the yield node situation? Let's just start with that one.
So I avoided that one. That was another one of the ones I avoided. I have avoided, luckily, a lot of those ones. To me, my problem with some of these slower earning projects is it's really hard to get your initial out. And so if you can't do that and things don't go well long term, for a long enough term, then it becomes a problem. So I'm a little leery of these long time ones. I do like what is the Project 79? I'm interested, and I might try and put some stuff in there as I gain some larger bags to work with. But with me having the little that I have, I can't wait 6 months, sort of, except for, like I said, the node ones, which I think are opportunities, or the mining ones. I feel more comfortable with those because we know at least how they're getting the revenue. We know it's tried, tested, and true, and it just needs a bull market to excel. So that's where I'm kind of leaning towards. But sorry, you threw up something, I think, but I missed it.
No, you're good. Do you have thoughts on Starlink?
So I'm in there. I did a video on them. I was concerned. So full honesty, I'm not sure what to expect from them right now. Like, they're the fact that they all of a sudden came out with a right-wing kind of project idea that you had on and stuff, that concerned me, because they're just all of a sudden, oh, we have this really, really cool, awesome thing. Well, why didn't you present it to us before? It sounded like you knew about it before. So why didn't you make it your project from the beginning? So that's my quick, I'm an beyond honest guy, and I will totally throw out my opinions wherever.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that they saw Horde, and Horde lasted 6 months, but part of it was in the bull market. And then they kind of decided, oh, so we have 6 months to kind of figure out what it is that we're going to do. And
Not
then
in the bear market.
Yep. In reality, they had about a week.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's awesome. DJen had a good thought here. He said, I agree. If you make money, someone lost money. That's how the game works. And I think that's true if you're doing Ponzi-nomics.
Yes.
But if there's a revenue stream, then actually the goal of a revenue stream is someone is trading money for something else that they want. And when they're doing that, then one person makes money, one person gets whatever the service is. They get their gold transported in Project 79's case.
Yeah.
So in that's why I like revenue streams, is because it makes win-win scenarios, rather than in Ponzi nomics, there is a winner and there's a loser. And it's necessary for it to be that way.
Yeah.
But if there's a revenue stream, like even in yield farming, like they're swapping from one coin to another, and you get some revenue. So there's no losers in that situation. So it's capitalism.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
And even actually, just to kind of throw, because it just made me think of Frost Flakes, and I know it's a weird name, but he actually is trying to hit bots. He's showing the bots real time on the DApp. He's using Pancake Swap. He's using Grizzly Finance. So he's using these different places to earn the revenue to try and make it not Ponzi-nomics. So when they're doing things, any project, if they're doing things like that where they're showing different things and trying to find ways to change the momentum from a Ponzi to a revenue source, those add value to me. And those are where you're going to, if nothing else, they will create longevity with the project, at least more so than some of these other ones.
Yep, absolutely. And the Black Hat says, I lost too much to Ponzi's, all about utility now.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep, absolutely. So we got, people are asking about a whole bunch of different projects.
Yeah,
So
I
let's
see
kind
that.
of bring a couple of these up. First, well, let's do this one. Any thoughts on MDB?
So that one's a funny one, and you've had him on, and I really like Dan, right? Yeah, Dan. I really like Danny. Like he again exudes that kind of positivity, that integrity. He's doxed, obviously, so it makes that easy. I haven't gotten in there only because I feel like you do need it's a slower burn, right? You're not earning as much as quickly, as much as there's opportunities where you can. It's definitely something I want to get some money into over time. I'm just not quite in that spot yet. But maybe after I do a couple of these other things I'm doing, I could see myself doing maybe $100 a week, or like start doing a little DCA into it. But there's as little as there is out there right now, there's also a lot. So.
Yeah, that's totally, well, and one problem in this market is, in the bull market, I was making so much everywhere that I literally had plenty to just
feed it everywhere. Yeah, you could feed it to whatever you wanted.
Yep. But now it's kind of like a little bit more limited, so I'm gonna have to pick. Am I gonna do this or this?
Yeah.
So that can be a challenge. Man, you guys are blowing up the chat with questions.
I don't know how many do we have in here. I wanted to.
We've got 115 live right now.
I wanted to break 100 because that was Danny was around there.
Yep. You've made it happen. Yeah. Man, you guys got great questions. Keep them coming. We'll get through as many as we can. Let's see. What are the top 3 things you look for in up and coming projects?
The number one thing that I'll do, and I don't care if they're doxed, I don't care if they're on camera, I just want to hear them speak. And that's why the AMAs are so important to me. I want to hear how they handle questions, good and bad and hard. So that would be probably my number one thing. I want to get that spidey sense going, feel them out, and understand what they're trying to do. And then what, Reckless, do you want me to call you out? Is that why you keep saying my name? He follows me everywhere. I see him in all kinds of chats. And then from there, it's utility. That's number 2, I think. Whether I have a number 3, as long as those 2 are met, to me, I'm gonna possibly take a look at it. And there's lots of people actually that probably are going to now want me to call out their name. But anyways, I appreciate all you guys. My journey over the last couple of months has been pretty crazy and meeting all kinds of amazing people. And I do appreciate everybody that I meet. There's Reckless. It's crazy cat, that guy. So yeah, no, it's just awesome. So yeah, those are probably the biggest 2 things that I probably lean on. And from there, it's just more how the community feels when I go into the Discord, how their mods handle things, like all those kind of things can add value. The website within reason, Jack that was here earlier, he likes his websites. And that's, I get often lately, I get You're Everywhere, which I try to be, because you got to hustle when you're growing, right? You got to get noticed. That's how a lot of my opportunities have come, is just being there, being around. So
yeah, absolutely. And when I first started too, that was what I did. And I went out and hustled. I was getting in touch with every project saying, hey, you want to do an AMA? Hey, do you want to come on? And then once you get to a certain point, then people start coming to you. But before that, it's hustle. And you're doing a great job of that.
Thank you.
And let me make sure I block the
What? I want to meet a girl. I just
that's just what I need, another girl, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. What was your first ever passive income stream? Did it end well?
So most of my ones that I got in when I first got in here are actually still here. So I'll go through them. Thor, Power, so they're still here. They're not, and Vapor, actually Vapor nodes. So those 3 were probably my biggest ones that I got into from the start. Those were the ones that lost me the most, but hopefully will in turn. Vapor is still, all 3 of them are still developing, right? So they're still doing some great things to hopefully change. The other one was Red Light. Red Light nodes was one that I got into that definitely, at the wrong moment, I decided to bring more money into crypto. I decided to put it in there, and it was really at the time where they stop their rewards. So my timing was horrible, but I've actually started making it back. They've got their new chain now. They're doing some development. They seem to really have some momentum under them. Who knows where that'll go? But right now, they're probably they actually are my biggest income source right now is Scarlet Chains. So I kudos to them for keeping on going and keeping on developing, and I hope they can make a good go of their chain, because they've got gasless and all this kind of stuff. So those are probably the three that I got in early on when I first came in. Everything else, I would have forgotten it by now.
Yeah, no, totally get that. And for me, so when I sold my business, I would say businesses have been my best passive income streams. So like I've been talking in our community chat about, I've been looking a lot on Flippa. If you guys have ever been to Flippa, but they just have a bunch of random, I don't know why it's not in my history, but they have a bunch of just random businesses that you can buy. Most of them are online based. And so, you can well, some of them are obviously very pricey, but there's some that are, I sent one that was 3K and it's currently making about $100 a month. And so I'm even looking at maybe doing some of this with my community. Is like, hey, let's buy some of these and we can maybe start a business together. I think that would be really fun. Personally.
Yeah, and even a lot of these different things that we're seeing inside the community, do we want to shill that a little bit? So that's been really good and been a really neat opportunity that I kind of stumbled on with you, and it's been a great learning opportunity. But yeah, there's lots of things, and where you've taken your change in your channel, I think I've really appreciated, is just finding non-crypto stuff where we can kind of do that. So for everybody that doesn't know, I think it's 5, 10, and 15. And if you want to hang out with me in the Discord, it's 15. Telegram is 10, and the just on the members chat is the other. But it's been a great opportunity for us just to kind of have really, and that's what I like about any of the private ones. I'm on Jack's, I'm on Murdoch's, like in those, somebody sneaking in behind you. In those chats, it's been quite handy, and that's where I probably learned the most, is in those chats where you can be really frank and you can have really honest conversations about what you're trying to do, and you don't have to worry about being thrown out for FUD or any of that kind of stuff. So that's, if I was to give one piece of advice to people, it's find a community where it is kind of private. I know it costs money for a lot of them, but find one of those communities, because they can be your best source of information. They can be your best source of projects and to get in quick, because there are lots of times coming from different angles. And they've been my biggest learning opportunities, and I've met some amazing people who really have their heads on straight. And we have, I mean, Jax, we do a call every couple of days, and we're just on there just shooting the stuff, and just having a really good time getting to know each other and having chats about the space, about what's happening in the world, about whatever. It's just nice and easy, kind of break free and just talk. And you're talking from people from England, from US, from Canada, from all kinds of different places overseas. So it's also neat to get that kind of perception from them, because a lot of times the news we're seeing, it's BS. There's no other way to put it. We're being fed what they want us to hear, not to get the tin hat on, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, next maybe we'll talk about what are your political affiliations.
Yeah. We don't need to go down that road.
Keep that one off. Tony says, do you have time to manage more businesses, James? And the key is I have a ton of assistants that help with different things. Like, there's no way I could do my Discord group and my Telegram group without PocketAces, for example. So that's kind of a business, quote unquote. But it's not a ton of work on my side, because you're right, I don't have a lot of extra effort to put in. So that's where you can find virtual assistants, or you can find community members or whatever, and can really help you be able to scale some of those things. So that's how I would approach it. If I got a business, yeah, there's no way that I would be managing it. I would try to figure out what needs to be done, and then I'd try to get the right people in there to make it 100%. Happen.
Yeah, you gotta lean on things. So yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Any tips on how to manage all the different projects and keep it organized? How do you do that?
It's spreadsheets, I guess, or probably, I think you do that as well. That's probably the best way to do it. I mean, I've got to get even better at doing my spreadsheets and more on the ball with them, because sometimes I'll come home and it's like, oh yeah, I got to go do that project, and I run in and do it, and then I walk away, or I go to record a video or whatever, and so it doesn't make it into my spreadsheet, which is never good. MetaMask obviously helps. DBank is a great way to see what's in your wallet, but none of those are perfect yet. They don't have every project in it. So yeah, spreadsheets are probably the best. And JB, as he throws it up there, I think you're quite good at those. I'm still Mine are very basic, but they do the job.
Yep, that's right. And basic is a lot of times better.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Uniqo? Alif wants to know.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of people have talked about that one. I really haven't decided to even. I have it in my discords, which is always fun because I get lost in there. But yeah, I didn't get into it, so I don't really want to talk about it too much because I don't have really an opinion on it because I saw it, I got recommended a couple times, and it's just I've been too spread out to get into it or look at it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
kind of the same here. I believe I did it. I can't remember if I did an AMA with them or if I just had a private meeting with them, but I think I'm going to be doing a live walkthrough just of what they're up to and some of their tokenomics. And there's a little bit of controversy because they don't want a KYC or docs or anything. And so some people, that's obviously alarm bells. But the way they explain it is they're wanting, DeFi is really meant to not have a docs person at the front, right? Like that's kind of the difference between DeFi and centralized, right? Is having docs people up at the top. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts, but more to come on Uniqo for sure. Let's see. Have you looked at Momentum Finance?
No one again. I'm usually pretty good. Usually when you're doing stuff and people are throwing things at you, I want to yell at the screen and say, "I know about that one." But yeah, that one's one that I have not even heard of, or maybe I was mentioned it one time, but I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, I was looking if they had reached out to me or anything. I don't think I have any opinion on them, but I also have a very bad memory.
As I get thrown these things, I might just, now that I'm growing again, like just throw them a message and say, "Hey, do you want to come on the channel?" Because that's probably the best way to kind of start that up.
Yep, that's absolutely that's the way to go. Yeah, great questions, guys. Keep them coming. I don't know how long we'll go here. I guess until we get too tired. Nicholas, you've asked me a lot about the island. I have not looked into it yet. I will make a note to look into the island because you've been talking to me about that for quite a while. And I just have not done it yet.
Anything with island on it makes me think of, I think it was Poly Island, that I was like, this is never going to go, and it crashed. And then Pizza One came out that looked exactly the same, and it went longer than I thought, but then crashed.
Yep. James or Pocket, do you offer any of your spreadsheets? And I don't currently, but if you look here at this link, we're going to be doing a members only video sometime soon. And the goal is going to be just like helping set up a spreadsheet to help you track your investments. So I'm going to just kind of show you the way that I do spreadsheets, the way I think through it. And the goal is that we get a spreadsheet template that's going to be helpful for everybody. So yeah, for sure, join that.
Yeah, and same thing. I'd be happy to give mine out. They're very basic, but if I did one up that made sense, but if I ever built a community like you're doing, actually, I'd probably I think we talked about it possibly in the Discord, is I think the best thing to do would be to create a Google one and then let everybody, since we're in a trusted site kind of thing, let everybody kind of build it, because there's so many smart people that know how to get really good data out of them. So I think that would be a great place to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know anything about what Red Light and Scar is doing right now? I do not.
Yeah, so they're going to a V2. I've got to read the latest Medium article to get a good gist of it all. It sounds like they're going to be increasing their Scar price as well as creating some other mechanics inside of it. I'm still very optimistic about it. By what I've heard in the community and heard outside of the community, it sounds like it's going to be a good move to help create some more longevity and just keep the project going strong. But I wouldn't want to go into too much detail right now until I have a chance to look at it more. It's been a hard one. I've wanted to do a video on it, but it's a little complex. And so even getting the video out for it would be hard, but their token is getting hit a little bit right now. So, but I think that's with all the different changes happening. It obviously, like anybody, changes make everybody concerned. So.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, yeah, we're at a rough time right now, and Hazim would like to know about that. From the chart right now, what's your reading and expectations for the next few days? Are we sinking to new all-time lows? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it seems inevitable, right? It's going to happen, and I think it's going to happen. We're gonna still be in a bunch of ebbs and flows. There's no coming out of this now. I'm being in the banking market. I think we're gonna see some tough times for people. I don't think we're going to see the 1982's mortgage crash where people are handing their keys in at the bank, but it's going to be interesting to see how people handle inflation and all this stuff. So, and that all those things kind of bleed into DeFi. And as we get more FTX stuff type things happening. Those are all going to keep eating at what we're doing. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you got, any additions to that?
I think nobody knows.
My
One
crystal
thing I
ball is
will
broken.
say, yeah, one thing I will say is that there's a group of people that keeps going up that are not going to sell Bitcoin. So everything's just going to follow Bitcoin for the most
Yeah.
part. And there's a big group of people that just will not sell Bitcoin until it reaches a certain price. And the number of those, like me, I have, I think, 4 or 5 Bitcoin, and there's no way I would sell below, 80K, 90K,
Yeah.
or something like that. So I'm just holding up, dollar cost averaging more Bitcoin. And I think the number of people who are doing that is going up over time. So I think we will see a pretty strong bottom at some point, whether that's, whether we're there now at 16K. My guess is probably 12 or 13K, but
Yeah.
nobody knows. Nobody has any idea. Experts don't know any more than you do. They're just guessing, and
Well, and then there's always something coming from left field. Like, we can't vouch for that.
Yep,
1K
absolutely.
Bitcoin. Somebody just said, yeah, I don't know about that.
Yep, nope, absolutely. Let's see. We'll go through more questions here. Tony, the point of this AMA is to get to know Justin and answer people's questions. So we're just hanging out today, really, pretty much.
This is great. I love this.
Yeah, I enjoy this too. This is what I like to do on a Sunday afternoon, is like, hey, let's just chat about the market a little bit.
Yeah.
Tony says there's passive income real businesses which provide 40% a month. Send those to me.
Yeah, please do. Like,
Yeah,
I'd love to know about those.
Yeah, I have not found those. Sometimes the smaller return projects are the successful one. And I think usually it's easier to be successful when you're given a smaller return. So I personally, right now, I like projects that don't promise a return, but they just give, hey, here's what we actually made. And then don't have to worry about the project collapsing.
That's right. I never threw a Warbots plug out there yet. So, yeah, I got a couple of those now, and I'm looking forward to what they can do with that. Like, they're not guaranteeing anything. You're just getting what the market dictates for us, and that's even what Wealth Mountain's kind of doing with their new thing. We'll see how everything goes. Everything's so hard to tell, right? But and I mean, it's hard not. I mean, obviously, everybody's scare right now is not having your stuff on when PocketAces coin. Sorry, every so often I see the chat. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see how this all pans out and stuff. So it's I don't even know, man. It's going to be interesting times ahead still, which is great. I love being a part of this. I wish I had have become more educated in the past. That's the other thing I think a lot of people need to do if we want to throw in some nuggets of info. My brother-in-law talked about Bitcoin back when it was $1 to $5 or whatever, and I did the whole what a lot of us did, I think, and just did there's no way, blah, and I didn't take the time. It wasn't even an issue of not. The issue was I never actually took the time to learn it and understand it. If I had have, man, I would have totally jumped in on that if I knew exactly what it was about. Who cares? Throw $100 on it. Throw $1,000 when it's at a buck. So yeah, I think just a lot of people just fear of the unknown is just such a barrier for all of us. And as soon as we stop doing that, that's where this is going to come around, kind of thing and stuff. Is that the Paul Dutton? Actually, I got to watch one of his YouTubes. I've seen him everywhere. He shills more than I do in a positive way, and supposedly he's great. And I've got to give him a time. So I will get on there. I will watch one of your videos and see what you're all about.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and I appreciate everybody being here. Yeah, hit the like button. And again, go check out, it's in the description, but check out the Justin's new YouTube channel and go give him a subscribe, and let's get his channel going here with a boom.
Thank you.
So yes, mate, this is my other profile though for watching crappy heavy metal videos. So I do that too. I have separate YouTube profiles based on, like, if I'm gonna let the kids go watch, something Sesame Street or something, I put that on a different profile just so
just so you don't mess up your algorithm, eh?
Yeah.
I'm a heavy metal. I like all kinds of music. Pretty much not a country boy. Sort of, no offense, guys.
No,
or opera.
None taken.
Other than that, I'm about everything else.
Yeah, ever since I watched the new Elvis movie, I've actually been listening to a lot of Elvis, which is kind of fun.
I haven't watched that. My mom's a massive Elvis fan, and she kind of told me the movie was not the greatest, so but I like everything. I love blues, all that stuff.
Okay, well, Tony asked, what kind of music do you like, James? Well, actually, so I thought about going into music instead of computers
Oh,
back in
wow.
the day because I play piano and I play the trumpet and I sing. And I love worship music. Again, like my faith's really important to me, and music is just a really good way for me. That's what I do most evenings is I listen to music outside. Although now it's too cold to go outside, but so that's kind of what I like. But I also like Elvis right now. Let's see, man, so many questions. Yeah, keep them coming. We probably won't go much longer than an hour, so you'll have to go hit up Pocket Aces to know the answer to some of these things.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have
Um,
to play with my YouTube channel now that I'm on camera.
yep,
My
right, right.
branding.
It's going to change everything.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on Xeta Capital?
Man, I usually I'm so used to just seeing stuff and going, I know about that. Again, I don't know about them. I think you brought them up on one of your other videos, and I haven't had a chance to look into it.
Yeah, they are. I've had a lot of people ask me about them, and I was about to get in right when they had a liquidity exploit or something a few weeks ago
Oh,
that
that's
made the
right. Yeah.
token crash, and then I kind of thought, oh, they'll probably be gone after that's not something you come back from, but it looks like they did kind of come back from that. So I'll need to take another look at them for sure. But they are very popular. I've had a lot of people asking me about Zeta. It's stuff backed by real world assets,
Nice.
real estate, and things like that. So yeah, I'll take a look at them again when I can. I'll add it to my to-do list. By the way, my to-do list is up to 81 things for today. So
Oh, wow.
just because it gets added to my to-do list does not mean it's gonna happen anytime soon. So let's see. I like to be friends with everyone apart from Darius from Ring Financial. So Paul's been around for a while. Yeah, Ring
Yeah,
was
he has been.
the original rug pull for a lot of us.
Oh, wow.
Do you think Zeus and Thor will survive?
I didn't even know Zeus was still around, actually, but Thor, and obviously they have some connections to Hive, which I did well with when it first came out, and I'm actually just playing with house money in there. So I think they keep trying, and as long as they keep doing that and keep growing, I mean, I really like Loki. He's another Canadian, so there's a little attachment there. I hope so. Thor is where I put most of my starter money in, and unfortunately, I've kissed it goodbye. But I still have faith with what they're trying to do. So let's hope for the best, right? What else can we do at this point? We're kind of at the whim and at the mercy of what they choose to do and how they choose to do it. So
Yep, that's right.
they're definitely trying, which I appreciate. I think you've written them off more than I have. So.
Yeah, well, and I echo though with you that I appreciate that they did. It would have been easy to just kind of ride off into the sunset. That's what we've seen a lot of projects do is, oh, we're not going to survive. We're going to ride off. And they've stuck around and they're still building and they're still, set on we're going to achieve our vision and we're going to help people who stuck with us through this. So I do wish them the best. I just don't. Personally, it's not something I'm going to put. I'm anti-maintenance fees because I can't remember to go in and pay them. So that's not something that I'm going to be doing. Maybe we'll call this the last question because we're about at an hour. I didn't want to go more than an hour. Guys, we'll do this again. Also, you can come into our chat anytime. Pocket's there, and we can talk through things there as well.
Anytime.
What does the crypto passive income space look like in 10 years?
Wow, that's a loaded question.
2032.
I guess if I was to quickly give a thought on that, the issue is governance is coming sooner or later. So I mean, there's going to be a point where this space will, in my opinion, probably be the same as our fiat space when it comes to investing. So to sit there and go that long term, it's got to be something like that where we're going to go to the 7 to 12% in the riskier stuff and your GIC type investments inside the space. Maybe there'll be better margins because it won't be controlled by the bank and by the government as much, and there'll be ability. Maybe it'll be 9 to 16% or something, but it won't be this crazy wild west. It can't be. We're going to bleed off all of the people that just like the .com boom, we're going to bleed off all those bad actors and all that jazz, and we'll be down to just the meat and potatoes kind of thing at some point, I guess, is my quick synopsis, I guess.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to I saw someone tweet the other day and I retweeted it that there's been nothing in crypto yet that in first world countries like the US or Canada or whatever that if we got rid of crypto, there's not really much would change, right?
Yeah.
Like there's not anything in society that would change too much. I mean, in our world, everything would be changed, but in society as a whole. So I'm kind of waiting for some of the blockchain technology to take hold in a way where it actually changes. It's actually disruptive
To the
in
system.
the
Yeah.
world, in society,
Yeah.
in some way. And so I think that will happen. I think, Constellation DAG, I think some of what they're doing could do that. BioFi, obviously something.
Yeah.
If we can get some payment stuff worked out, like Spritz, for example, is letting you pay off your credit card straight from MetaMask. And I mean, that could be life changing for some people,
Mhm.
depending on how things work out regulatory wise. So that's kind of what I think. I think over the next 10 years that will happen. I don't think crypto adoption is going to be as fast as we think it might be.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take a while, just like the internet did. Like we still have people up until, maybe 5 years ago that were kind of like, oh, I don't know if I need to take my business online. And now I don't know that there's many people now who would say that, like it's
Yeah.
fully adopted. And are we still early? Mo asks.
100%.
Yes, we're definitely still early. I am being cautious though. I'm seeing a lot of projects using "we're early" as a marketing ploy
Oh,
to get
true, eh?
people to come in, and so just don't let the wool get pulled over your eyes. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Tycho. I've seen great franchise businesses with great ROI per month. Yeah, keep sending those to me, Tycho. And shout out to Tycho. He's one of my assistants also. So well,
Oh,
let's
yeah,
go
fun.
ahead and close up here. So, audience, hit like on the way out. I'm going to send you the link again to Pocket Ace to Justin.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, guys, and I appreciate everybody that came out. And I've grown a nice community, or I've grown, but I've been parts of so many great communities right now. And thank you so much for all you do for the space, and for me personally, I really appreciate this opportunity. And this has been a fantastic chat. I look forward to hopefully, doing it again and having opportunities to keep doing what I'm doing and hopefully helping people out. So.
Yeah, thank you for hopping on. Yeah, and if anybody else, is starting up YouTube channel or something like that, and wants a little boost to kind of help them get going, feel free to reach out. I'd love to help people. Again, I have a philosophy just like you do, Justin, that sometimes even if I can't tell how is this going to benefit me, bringing on somebody, I just know that if you help people, it comes back to you in one way or another. So I agree. You said that earlier, and I agree with that. Just keep helping people. So
Yeah,
appreciate all you do for me and for my community and for the space as a whole.
Thank you.
We'll do this as last question because it's a good one. Any tips on getting a job in crypto? And maybe I'll leave that one to you, Justin, because you've done a better job of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff out there, and it's just being visible, getting out there. Like Wealth Mountain, I guess, was one of the first. That's actually my first paid one, I guess, other than possibly doing a couple of videos that I was able to earn an income on. Most of them, I would have done the video anyways, but luckily was able to earn something and did a contest for it in order to do it. So obviously, there's YouTubing. That's kind of an easy one. Easy. Actually, to be honest with you, this was way harder than I ever thought it was going to be, and way more work than I ever thought it was going to be. I couldn't believe it. And I'm like a lot more of an appreciation for you guys when I started doing this. But yeah, with the modding, a lot of it was like for Wealth Mountain, all I did was just get on there. I liked what they were trying to do. And I mean, I knew it was going to be risky, but I liked what they were trying to do. And I just got involved in the Discord. And then they saw that I was helping people, and in turn decided to offer me an opportunity to work. I guess it is a job. Like we had an agreement of what we were doing. And like I said, a lot of them I did free, and I'm still doing some stuff for free right now, but I know it's going to garnish me benefits, and it already has in either learning or opportunities within their community with their leaders and whatnot. So that's one. And then programming is one. I've done very little programming. I do know a little bit about it, but it's so easy now to learn that if you're a person that can self-teach, and there's so much demand for it, that could be a massive earner for anybody. GitHub now with I think it's called, I haven't used it, but there's lots of ways to do it that way. Other than that, I mean, I think those are the main things, but I'm sure there's more out there, and lots of opportunities right now. There's endless.
Yeah, and what I would say as someone who, maybe employs people, what I would say
Oh yeah.
is always talk about, like, when you approach projects, always be looking for how you can help them. So I have so many people that approach me and they're like, "Hey, can you help me out?" And by giving me a job or something like that. And what Justin did, which is what resonates better, is he came and said, "Hey, I could help you doing this, this, and this."
Yeah.
And then he kind of came to me and told me what he could do to help me out, rather than like, "Hey, do you have anything that I could do?" He was very proactive about that. And yeah, if somebody's like, "Hey, I can help you out doing this, and it's going to make you more money," then I'll say yes to anybody. Tycho's
Yeah.
another example. Tycho is one of my he's kind of my collab manager, but he approached me for probably like 4 months before I was like, I just was dragging my feet, and he just kept saying, "Hey, can I help you out with collabs? Can I help you out with collabs?" And eventually he did, and he's been a game changer. Justin, I'd recommend him to you when you start doing a lot of collabs. Tycho is the man. So
Yeah, no, good to know. Can you still hear me? Because I've frozen somehow. At least it's better than most freezing faces.
yeah, no, that's a pretty good freezing face. But yeah, no, you sound great still.
Gotten a
So the
smile in there,
audio's
I guess,
been great
beforehand.
the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, no, and that's true. I should have thought of that. Is a lot of it was just putting myself in and seeing something. So sometimes you actually, where and I think you kind of hit it there, is you said things like, I need to do a Discord, and so I just went, all right. I saw your membership thing. I applied to them. I became a member, and then just made a Discord and said, get over here. And sometimes it took 3 or 4, 5, 10 probes, but you did it, and it paid off for both of us, hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely a big way to do it.
Absolutely. Well, hey, let's go ahead and close up. So
Yeah.
we can see just your still face, but it's a good looking face. So audience, hit like on the way out. And Justin, thank you so much for all that you do for the space and for my community and for me. And yeah, I'd love to have you back sometime. But yeah, everybody
Anytime.
have a great rest of your Sunday.
Thanks.